Toxic Femininity brought to you by Midnight Edge.
So, talking about toxicity, I can say that word, toxicity, because this is Toxic Femme, and toxic things happen here all the time. Jonathan Majors' problems are getting major, because that is what's going on in the news. Jonathan Majors' text messages produced as part of the domestic violence case, reportedly. So this guy, we're going to go through this article because some of the stuff that's coming out is highly concerning. I don't know if this guy is going to be employed at Marvel much longer. As far as I know, he still is, but these things just don't look good. Vanessa, do you have you heard about what's going on with Jonathan Majors?
Only what you told me before we started streaming.
Yeah, it's. Have you seen any of his performances? I should ask, maybe.
No,
I haven't either.
Me either.
Wow, nobody's here.
I have. I
Kara,
saw him in Loki.
Oh,
And
yeah,
season one of Loki.
Yeah, I saw him in season 1 of Loki as well. That's the only thing I saw him in.
I've seen him in one other thing. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Wasn't he in like Suits or something? Or I don't know. He's in something like some sort of law show or something.
Lovecraft Country. I watched him in Lovecraft Country.
Oh, okay, that's what he was in. Maybe
Andy was in
just said he's in Creed 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
Creed 3. Okay, there you go. Well, okay, let's go through this because this is interesting. By the way, it's interesting also, Tom, that Fanning into Comics fixed that bar after
Finally.
After Flash bitched about it.
I've been bitching about it for weeks. It's on Flash one night and they fix it the next day.
It's hilarious.
Would they do? Share my screen.
Okay.
I'm very much interested in his performances. I'm on his side. I don't know what the situation is.
Oh my God.
I'm fascinated now. What's going on with him?
I don't think he looks
Jonathan
like that
Majors?
I'm also more interested now. Wow. What the hell?
Yeah, just imagine that's what's pummeling you. But anyway, not in a good way.
No, yeah, not at all.
Isn't it real though? I saw some of the initial stuff and I'm like, is that real or is it fake?
It's in court now, so it sounds real because usually
Not looking good for him anyway. Let's say.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like when you submit stuff to court, it's usually verified. So that's what we're going to be reading is the stuff that's been submitted to court. And it says in a development, we just may seal an actor's fate than a Marvel Cinematic Universe to say nothing of Hollywood in general. Text messages produced as part of Jonathan Majors' ongoing domestic violence case reportedly see the man who would be Kang the Conqueror not only admitting to having previously and physically struck his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, but also attempting to manipulate her subsequent response with threats of suicide or ending yourself. As reviewed by People following a submission of multiple messages into evidence on December 8th. One particular message sent from Majors to Jabari in September 2022, roughly 8 months prior to the alleged altercation that led to his current legal case, appears to see the actor scrambling to cover his legal bases after assaulting the professional Hollywood film dancer. Now, okay, I'm going to pause right here. Tom, can you give us a little brief lowdown of why he got arrested to begin with, so that for people who don't know?
Okay. This happened earlier this year. There was an incident between him and his girlfriend over
in a car.
Yeah, he was texting some chick. She saw the messages.
Some chick named Cleopatra.
Phone. Yeah. He grabbed her hand, broke her finger in the process. And then there was supposedly some other altercation within that vicinity. She left. He dropped her off at home or whatever, and then he went back home. She showed back up at his place or something like that, supposedly. And then the next day, after he dropped her off again, he went over there, called 911. But then the next day, she went to the hospital, and he was the one who was arrested for assault. His lawyers have been trying to claim he was going to be exonerated through this whole thing, but everything they've been showing is just making him look guiltier and guiltier and guiltier. He hasn't had one person come out in his defense. We found out there was another incident prior to this with the same person. He met this individual on Ant-Man. She has worked in a few movies, including Barbie. She's like a dancer and a movement coach. And from what we're hearing here, this is kind of supporting her side of this, because they claimed at first that she was gonna testify in his defense, but then she took off out of the country. I don't know if she was shooting a movie or what, but they brought her back in the country, and she's actually now testifying for the prosecution. So this is
where
just not looking too good for him at this point.
Yeah, so this is what happens. So this is one of the texts. I fear you have no perspective on what could happen if you go to the hospital, Majors reportedly wrote. They will ask you questions as I don't think you actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something. Majors also declared it's just fake, but as of writing, no context has been provided regarding this message.
Now, I remember us talking about this because I was very like, I'm not going to make any judgments until this type of stuff comes out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to believe it, or I'm not going to condemn it, or I'm not going to jump to conclusions, I think is what I said.
Yes, you did say that.
And this is the type of stuff that I was waiting for to kind of help form that opinion.
Yeah. And then in a response, Jabari purportedly texted back, I will tell the doctor I bumped my head if I go. Now, ladies, hear me out. If you're ever being abused and a guy's like, please don't tell the doctor what really happened to you, don't listen to that. Okay?
Yeah.
Tell the doctor what happened to you. Don't tell them that I'm gonna bump my head. It's just not worth it. Okay. If you're ever in this position, you tell the doctor what happened.
The fact that he is trying to get her not to go to the doctor is red flag number one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And she's talking about hitting her head. And at this point, I don't even know if she's realized that her finger or whatever was broke, or what was it, her fingers or wrist? I can't remember.
2.
No, this is before. This is before that.
So is this the incident in the UK?
This is another incident. This is a whole other incident.
See, there was a whole nother incident that happened before this in the UK. This might be part of that then, I guess.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Okay.
And then so it goes on to say, I'm going to give it one more day, but I can't sleep and I need some stronger painkillers, she wrote. She told Majors. That's all. Why would I tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you? Ladies, don't do this. Don't do this. However, as Jabari continued to argue for her personal medical treatments, Majors soon took to threatening ending himself as a means to dissuade her from bringing the incident.
Can we give a pause?
Sure.
Go back to what we just read.
Okay.
So he hit her in the head so hard that she needs painkillers.
Wow.
She doesn't just need Tylenol. She doesn't just need Advil or something you can get over the counter. No, she needs like painkillers.
Yeah, like really
and she
strong.
can't sleep, so I don't know. That's weird.
She's probably concussed.
I was thinking that.
I was thinking that. Yes.
That sounds like a concussion. However, as Jabari continued to argue, personal medical treatment, Majors soon took to threatening ending himself as a means to dissuade her from bringing the incident to public and more specifically law enforcement's attention. Last night, I considered ending myself versus coming home. Read one message said to have come from Majors. I need love too, or maybe I'm such a monster and horrible man. I don't deserve it, and I should just end myself. In this way, my existence is miserable. I want to, not be here.
What makes me sad and sick about this whole thing as a man is he doesn't even believe that shit that he's saying about being a monster or horrible man. He's just manipulating.
Manipulation.
Yeah.
This is emotional manipulation. I've been through this shit before. This is exactly what it is. Is that threatening to have that control, because if they don't want you, nobody can have you. So they're going to make you feel bad about it.
Yep.
Making
I'm not
notes.
liking this more and more we go through this. This is
No, it just gets worse and worse. Making notes majors his extreme declaration. Jabari in turn assured him, I will not go to the doctor if you don't feel safe with me doing so or don't trust me to. I promise you I would never mention you, but understand your fear. My God, this lady. Unfortunately, this assurance did little to quell Majors' fears, as after supposedly taking offense to the fact that she did not hug him after the apparent altercation, the actress once again declared, "I will probably end myself. It's not really contemplating anymore. I'm a monster, a horrible man, not capable of love." He added, "I'm ending myself soon." Per the final message transcribed by people after admitting fault for not hugging him, Jabari begged her lover, Jonathan, you can't say this. I'm going to have to tell someone. Notably, though, these exchanges were unrelated to the March 2023 incident at the center of the case. They were allowed to be entered into evidence under the American justice system's what is this rule? Molyneux?
I don't know how to say that.
Molyneux, which states that in a criminal proceeding where the defendant interposes a defense, the people on rebuttal may prove the defendant's commission of other crimes or wrongs when such crimes or wrongs were relevant and probative to disprove the defense.
Can I
so
ask,
that's it.
before you
Yes.
keep reading any of these,
Mhm.
are there any receipts, or is this just like, do they have links to where these text messages are?
It says it's in the People magazine thing. Here, let me click the actual link and
So
see.
I never read Bounding Into Comics because they doxed me a long time ago. So I have them blocked on every platform.
Mhm.
So
well,
I
these,
don't
as far as I'm
really-
understanding, is they're being administered in court.
Well,
court,
I
yeah.
just don't trust anything that they say. So I would rather see like
This
the
is-
actual receipt
yeah, this is-
than the website.
There's no pictures of the receipts because they are from a court proceeding that's ongoing right now. They're not
Then
going to
that should be
show
public.
pictures of that.
If it's a court case that's in America, then we would be able to see that.
This is the article that they've referenced. Jonathan admits to physically from people. And as I'm scrolling here, I don't
Is that
see
the
any
girl?
pictures. Yeah. That is the girl. I don't see any pictures. But see, they have it all in quotes.
Okay, remember like how was it like 20 years ago now when Chris Rock and Rihanna happened?
It's been a while. Yeah, like something like that, 15 to 20 years, something like that.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but there was photos and a lot of evidence for that.
Hold on, not Chris Rock. What's his name?
Oh yeah, not
Chris
Rock,
Brown?
Chris
Chris
Brown.
Brown.
One of the Chris's, excuse me.
I don't know
Poor
if Chris
Chris
Rock. I think Rihanna would kick the shit out of Chris Rock.
He held his own against Will Smith.
Not really. He didn't fight back or nothing. He just kind of stood there and took it like a little bitch. But anyway, like
He had more composure. He didn't fall, Tom.
this is true. I'm not going to say that part, but
He
look,
held his ground.
yeah. As far as like the video and stuff, the only people who have been promising any video or anything like that have been the defense, and they have yet to bring any of this stuff out.
But
The
they
only thing
said
they
they
brought
wanted-
out was those text messages that were obviously doctored to look good for him.
I
Yeah.
want to see screenshots or video recording of the text messages. I want to see photos. Because right now, the way that cancel culture is going, like, obviously, you can write any article or make any video to paint a certain side of the story. So when it comes to all of this, I don't care until I see receipts.
Yeah, but
Is-
these are being administered into evidence in court, though, Anna. That's the only
I
thing.
know, but
Yeah, but
in
we
court,
haven't seen them.
exactly. So I watched the
Like, who's
Kyle
the
Rittenhouse
sport?
trial, and I saw how they doctored a video, and then the internet went crazy because the one guy was like, "Oh, we didn't edit this at all," and then he shows his laptop screen, and it's got Handbrake on his screen, which is a software that edits videos and compresses files. So I'm not taking sides. I don't care about these people. I've never seen these people. I'll make my opinion when I actually see the evidence. But right now, it's he said, she said. It's evidence that's being presented in a way to push one side. And at the end of the day, I just don't care. I know that
I
makes
think
them
that's
heartless.
I think
I
that's
don't care about
fair.
either of these people.
Mhm.
That's really fair. Like, I don't care about really any celebrity drama at all. But if anything, what I've learned the last couple of years is how the lengths people will go to push propaganda and conveniently edit things out of context. Like, I've seen that so much in the political realm, so I can assume they also do it when it's talking about celebrity news too.
Sure. I mean, that is what the media does. And you're right, Anna, about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and it's happened multiple times. I mean, uh, even like the Johnny Depp trial stuff, they like, the media would take out clips and bits to try and make Amber look better, or like whatever. Like there's things that was altered, and that was a live trial that we were all watching. I wonder why this isn't that, like, we can't watch this. Like, I don't know why they didn't make this a public trial. Like, I think it should have been. I mean, the LawTube thing would have been great for it. I mean, I would have liked to watch this trial go down. But it does say that in this article that these texts were read to the jury. So it just says that it was read out loud to the jury, and Majors seated at the defense tables, a black suit and white collar shirt, kept his head down, hands in his lap, and then he just looked at the jury briefly. It's like, oh, well, shit. That's basically what's going
But
on. with her.
notice how everything is about him. There's nothing about her. Because, I mean, relationships fail. I mean,
Yeah.
because it's two people in the relationship. So I don't know the dynamic. I don't, like, some people are into being hit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
What if that's the situation? Like, I don't know. And again, I don't care. Like, I don't know these people. So
I'm more like I'm more fascinated because, like, earlier I was saying, even with like Gothics, I'm interested in people's stories. So I think that, like, whenever I read stuff like this, I take, for example, like this woman, like this picture that's being painted, and like, yes, he's hitting her, and there's all this stuff that's happening, maybe allegedly, but the reaction to what's happening to her from her side is what I have a problem with, which is like,
what
if
is it? What's
somebody-
happening?
like if the abuse is happening and this guy's constantly either hitting you, telling you he's going to end himself, abusing you mentally and emotionally, what are you doing staying with this person? Like, that is what I usually have a problem with within these stories, because I'm like, that nothing he's offering you is what you
worth
need in your life. or
Well,
worth
if we're
it.
to take these texts at face value, the way they're quoted here in People, she is trying to end it with him. He's not allowing that to happen. He's
Yeah, but-
manipulating her emotionally.
Because he's all like, I'm going to end myself. I
yeah,
feel like,
exactly.
I'm
That's
sorry,
what I was
bye.
saying.
Yeah,
Like,
but
if he
we're
really
not
meant
seeing
that shit.
we're not seeing what led up to that. Like, there could have been, you know what? Because it's a closed trial, like, Johnny Depp really, really fought to have everything public,
public.
especially in the U.S., because he wanted people to know.
Mhm.
If either of them really, like, if she, like, this is what makes me question, well, both of them, but
Mhm.
if you really wanted, like, either you're hiding something, or like you really care about your privacy, for benefit of the doubt for both of them. But if she's getting dragged online and this guy was really that abusive and like hit her and did all of that stuff, like, wouldn't you want your story to be out there? Or is there something else you're hiding? I think I'm just very suspicious of people nowadays. So I'm like, I don't know either of you. I don't care about either of you. I'll see what the results are. But as of right now, I, from the bottom of my heart, don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting perspective.
as somebody who's been following this from the start, I will say that it's not looking good for him right now. Because
Probably not.
yeah,
You know what? It adds, if he did all of this, if he is, as evil as everything's painting him, that's a good villain.
Yeah.
Here's
Villain
the
in real life.
Here's the thing, Anna. The big thing here, because you brought up the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, and there's some similarities here. The difference is that was like a civil thing; those two were suing each other. This is a criminal thing. But that aside, the big difference was when the accusations came out about Johnny, you had people stumbling over themselves to come out in his defense, saying that's bullshit. I've never seen Johnny act that way or do anything like that or act that way towards a woman before. Even stronger still, you had exes come out in his defense. When this accusation first dropped, the absolute opposite happened for this guy. You had several people come out and say, "Oh yeah, we knew about it. Oh yeah, we're not surprised. Oh yeah, sooner or later we knew this was going to happen." Not one person came out in this guy's defense. That's the thing that stuck out to me most so far in this point. And this is lining up
people
with,
aren't defending him, that immediately makes him guilty.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he had nobody come out in his defense, period. But you had a ton of people come out and say, oh yeah, we're not surprised by this. We've seen actions like this, or we've seen him act this way, where he's had behavior that's been abusive. And you had nobody, and I mean zero, not one single person come out in his defense. Not one.
There was like a bunch of people from the industry being like, I can't believe people are finally waking up this now, because this guy was such an asshole the whole time. So that was.
And this guy wasn't even a big deal. Like, this guy wasn't even a big deal until recently. Like, he became a big deal within the last basically 2 years because he got picked up by Marvel.
The Marvel.
He was in. What movie was it?
Ant-Man.
Okay, I didn't watch that one. Okay.
Well, he's played Kang now like 3 times or whatever.
Yeah,
so,
he started out in Loki season 1, like from the Marvel. His Marvel started in season 1 of Loki, and then Ant-Man, like the new Ant-Man, the Quantumania, is like his big blockbuster Marvel movie. And then I think they were gonna do like a whole thing with him afterwards, but I don't know if that's still happening or not. Like,
was he supposed to be like the new Thanos?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was originally the plan, was to replace Thanos with this new character, and Jonathan Majors was the guy they casted. Vanessa, do you have any other thoughts on this?
I mean, there's more to it, but yeah, I'm not trying to like change anybody's mind or tell anybody that they're wrong or anything like that. But like at this point, nothing is lining up with what his defense has claimed from the start. That's the problem. Yeah. And everything is lining up with what the original charges were.
Listen, the only good to come out of this is that it makes Disney look bad, and they can look as bad as hell for what they did to Luke Skywalker. So fuck you. It's karma, bitches.
They're in a rock and a hard place, because here's the problem they have here. They have Jonathan Majors on one hand, who they're relying a lot on for the Marvel Universe, but they have the Believe All Women thing on the other side, and he met this woman making a Marvel movie. So she was an employee of Disney at the time, so they have to kind of just stay on the sidelines on this and not get involved, and that's pretty much what they have. But I heard way back when the charges first came down, they dropped him. So we'll have to see how, because this was the same time his agency also dropped him.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear that Marvel's dropped him, but like the agency did.
No, that was my scoop. It came out, and it has yet to be confirmed. But at that time, I had heard from a couple sources, and then I checked with WDW Pro, who said he had heard similar things, that they had been thinking about or had already dropped him. And it was like, boom, the next day, his agency dropped him, and he lost his other movies. So it was like, oh, okay, that can't be coincidence. I just think Disney or Marvel isn't going to say what they're going to do yet, because they're kind of just chilling. But have you noticed they changed the writer and director on all of their Avenger movies coming up, and I wouldn't be surprised if they shift away from the Kang Dynasty thing too. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, they've just been very quiet about him, just generally speaking. Like they've
that's what I mean. Yeah, they haven't said shit.
But yeah, Vanessa, you were saying, did you have any thoughts on this?
I don't have any other thoughts, really. I mean, it's like we don't know. We can only base our opinion on what other people tell us, and I don't trust other people.
Yeah.
So yeah, whether he did or he didn't, it's like it really doesn't affect my life at all.
Well, on the other side of that, it's like, if you guys knew he was this abusive, why didn't anybody say shit before?
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's the other side of it. So again, it could go both ways in this Me Too era. I'm just like everybody else, where I'm skeptical. I was very skeptical at first, but the more we get deeper into this, I'm just like, unless he pulls some rabbit out of his hat at this point, he's looking mighty bad in this situation right now.
Yeah, he is. The next topic